So for our two solution case, we're going to start out very similarly to how we started before. Are we okay with that? I'm going to draw my triangle here this time. Just because it doesn't really change all that much, so we don't need it super big. So we have 20.5 degrees, 12, and 31. So again, just like the last two, what do we want to start by solving for? Big B. Okay, so we're going to set up our sine of big B has to be over our 12. And then our sine of 20.5 degrees has to be over. Sorry, I switched those. This should be 12. Our first one should be 31. Make sure that you have those set up correctly. Right, okay then. So then what do we do? Multiply by 31. Pretty similar each time. And then what do we want to do? Okay. And what do we get? We get that big B is approximately this time.
64.7.
Yep. What's that? Okay. So then what can we find next? C. So we can take 180, subtract our A, and subtract our big B that we just found. So we get that big C equals degrees. Yep. Okay. Little c. So again, we have little c divided by, we just found our big C, so 94.717 over our, we can go ahead and use A, so 12 over sine of 20. Process is going to be the same. We're going to multiply. And if we plug that into our calculator, what do we get? Yep. 34.149. This time we're in meters. Are we all okay with that? That part was basically just the same as our first one. Now, what should be different is, now that we want to look at our option for a second solution, okay, what do I do to figure out what my second option for B is? Correct. So I have 180 minus the original big B that we got, and we get 317. Agreed. And then again, we got to find our second option for C now. And what do we get there?
64.7.
No.
No, we don't.
Yep. Is that a valid angle? Yeah. So this is what tells us that we are now going to have two solutions. Because we are able to get two angles that work. You're all with me there. Okay. So then we basically found the other, most of the other second triangle. What's the last thing that we have to find then? They gave us big A. Anything that they give us can't have a second option. Correct. Little c. So we found little c for my first triangle, which means that we also have to find a little c for my second triangle. It's going to be very similar. The only difference in our setup is that we're going to use sine of 44.283 now instead. So again, we would multiply by sine of 44.283, and what do we get for little c prime? This is now little c prime. Four, and we are again in meters. So again, we actually have two solutions. So we have a big B, a big C, and a little c, and that would be our first triangle that we can make. And then we have our B prime, our C prime, and our little c prime. That would make up our second section. Yay!